Hello, guys, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Grammar with Shri. I'm Sri Hari from Genesis Training. Let's see what we have in store for you today. So, today we are going to be studying the concept of spell check, synonyms, and antonyms. Before we dig into this subject today, I will just take a moment and let you know please use the guidance of a dictionary right next to you while you're trying to solve the following exercises. Starting off with spell check. So guys, what is checking a spelling mean? So grammatically you can sound the same when it comes to two words which has two different meanings, but at the same time the spelling is where it makes all the difference when you write it. Hence I am requesting you all to kindly keep a dictionary next to you while you're trying to solve the following questions. Find the correctly spelled words. Efficient, treatment, betterment, employed. Now quickly use the dictionary that you have to solve the question here. So if you look up the words for efficient, EFFICIENT, sounds right. Treatment, TREATMEANT, treatment. Betterment, BETERMENT, or D, is it employed, EMPLOYD. Now clearly here I can give you the answer. It's option A. It sounded right, it's spelled out right. However, we have similar options which also sounded right but they're not spelled right. For example, you can see in the dictionary for treatment it's TREATMENT. There is no extra A. Or for betterment there is a missing T in better. And employed there is a missing E after Y, EMPLOYED. So employed. So ed is used in past tense. So employed, he was employed. You will be employed again in future tense. So it is a tense based word which is going to be used. So keeping those facts in mind, the correct answer is option A. So in the next few questions what we are going to solve, I will not be taking a lot of your time here, and I will directly be telling you the answer along with what made that correct. But it is your responsibility at this point of time to take out a dictionary and look into it and see the difference in the spelling so that you do not conduct the same mistake on paper. So here we have a word that means the same but in different spellings. So foreign. So take a moment and see which is the correct spelling for foreign. If you're thinking about option A, you're absolutely right. Option A, foreign, Foreign. So the G is silent, but it is written. So the major difference here between option A and option D is only that. Though option D is just the same word without the G, it is not written so. You may pronounce that way, but it is written with an extended G. Ominous. Ominous. So all of them pretty much sound the same. But what is the correct word for in this given set of options? It's clearly option C. Also, I would want you guys to take a moment to use the dictionary to even understand the word. So what does an ominous mean? So ominous, so from my knowledge, it's a meaning that it is a sign of something that is going to happen, an omen. So an ominous person. So if that person comes, it is clearly going to be something on the negative end, on an unresourceful end. So that is ominous. So an ominous decision. So that decision could lead to grave danger. So once you understand the meaning of the word, the spelling comes out on its own. Half of the time, mistakes occur amongst us when we do not know how to spell the words correctly. So, why this spelling the word correctly becomes a bigger picture? Because we would want to know the meaning of it. Without knowing the meaning, you cannot spell the word correctly. So, always take a moment when you come across new words. Take a moment to use that smartphone, what you use to text WhatsApp or Instagram. You can just open Google and you can search one word. What is the new word? So once you understand that word, spelling it just becomes easier every time. Let's solve some more questions now. So passenger. Here I know the answer, it's option B. So Passenger, passenger. So when you split the word pass and pass pass nen and ger passenger. So the phonetics help you understand where to give the stress and intonation to a word, which allows you in pulling out the right meaning for it. Hence, I recommend using a good dictionary where they give a phonetic symbol right next to the word. So the answer is option B. Next, benefited. Benefited. I don't know if this session is going to benefit you or anything, but I am pretty sure for those who really put in their hearts, this session will be benefited to you. Now that you know the meaning of benefited, can you tell me which is the correct word here? Choose to open a dictionary rather than just guessing the answer here. And if you guessed as option C, then you're absolutely right. Benefited. So benefit and ed. Benefit ed. So you don't need double T here for stressing on benefit. So moving on to the next question. Sublime. Very tricky. Sometimes you come across a situation where it is pronounced in two different ways. So here you have sublime, you have sublimey. So even if it is sublimey, see which is the most appropriate sounding word here. And clearly you can see option C and option D is a repetition, and most of the time such questions come only with one purpose in your verbal section, to confuse you. So at times like that, focus on that one word which sounds right and chooses to spell right. So that would be option A. That's right. So next time, before you get into the verbal section or before you know you're going to face a question paper of such kinds, always just brief through a couple of words in the dictionary in every character. That way it becomes easy for you to solve the paper. And also, whenever you come across a new word, always trying to find its meaning and understand how it is spelled out. And now, let's take a moment and solve another section that usually pops up in your verbal section, that's finding the incorrectly spelled words. So, appraise, commend, maintenance, and behavior. So, in this section, what is usually done is out of 4 options, 3 of them will be correct and 1 will be incorrect. So, here appraise means to praise someone, to give them appreciation. Commend means the same, to appreciate someone on their achievement or giving a compliment to them. And behavior means how you behave. So, what is the way of performing your actions? What is your attitude? So, that's your behavior, that dictates your behavior. And finally, maintenance. So take a moment and look at the spelling of maintenance. It became maintenance. So it's maintenance. So maintenance. So clearly you can see option C is the incorrect answer here. and I was right. So take a moment. I knew that every word had its meaning, so I could understand how to spell it out. If I didn't know the meaning, I couldn't differentiate between maintenance and comment. So the best trick for you guys to solving this section, if you're adept with multiple words, you don't have to speak sentences, just know the meaning of every word that you come across, every noun or every adjective that you see outside or in a newspaper or even in your textbooks, anywhere for that matter. If you find a word you don't know the meaning, take that moment to just open a dictionary and see its meaning. Next question: passion, fashion, ration, tuition. So, tuition is the incorrect answer here, but as it is, they also say that it can be pronounced in multiple ways, yeah? But considering this question, look at the other words. Passion, Passion. There is no other way of pronouncing it. Fashion, Fashion. Even that has no other way of pronouncing it. And even ration, Ration, ration. So tuition, tuition. So that depends on how you pronounce it and how you write it. So with respect to this answer, it's option D, which is incorrect. Amateur, manual. Nephew, athletic. So here almost all sounds correct, but then again it's option A, as amateur spelling is Amaetur. You may wonder how it's so easy to guess all the answers. I'll tell you, I have been practicing words since a very young age. It didn't come to me easily either. Even my scores were mediocre when it came to spelling it out. But once when I understood where to stress and where not to stress on the words, and when I stopped Indianizing my language and chose a globally comprehensible accent, it became easy for me to pronounce the words and remember the spellings to it. So I recommend you do the same. Now, another section in verbal that you usually face is choosing the correct word. Now, in these questions, there is usually a sentence with a fill in the blank section where you have to choose the correct word out of 4 options. So the first question is, he could easily cover his rural blank. So rural accent, rural accent, rural accent, a rural accent. So here we are clearly getting to know he is covering up something that is relative to a language, considering all the options that has been given to us. So see the most appropriate spelling word, which means accent. So clearly it's option C. Oh my bad, it's option D. So here the word accent means the language which he is using. So, and also remember guys, to err is human. So common mistakes does happen even from people when they're recording. One of the other sections that you'll be handling in the verbal section is choose the correct word. So in this section, you will be given a statement with a blank, which you will have to fill with respect to the appropriate option that is being given. So in the first question, we have 4 options, and the question is, he could easily cover his rural blank. So is it accent, accent, or accent? So clearly here we're looking into a word that means accent, which is the way of pronouncing his word. So from this question, it's option D. So here, let's look at another example to understand better. Your understanding of the situation sounds good. I dash the solution you have provided. Let's look at the options. Accept, accept, expect, stand by. So here guys, it has more than one type of option here. So you should see the most appropriate one that fits. So the clear signification of the first sentence here is your understanding of the situation sounds good. So the person speaking to you in the sentence is accepting the way you are talking. So clearly that gives out the answer. I accept the solution you have provided. So here you cannot accept as option B. That accept is an exception. So that's ignoring, that is letting them go. So it is option A, accept. So there you have it. Next, I will meet you in a while, or none of these, or one with a hyphen. Tricky. So remember guys, options are all similar, but only one of them are correct. So none of these, I don't think so. So option D can be negated. So we do not use hyphenation to join articles with adverbs. So a while, option C is incorrect again. And B, option B, the word doesn't exist. So what we are left with is option A. That's another way of decoding your questions also. So this way it's easier for you and the person who is in that character, who is in that sentence, to understand what to put across in the next blank. Listen up. So far you have understood different forms of filling up the blanks and finding the correct words and choosing them. Now I want you to implement the same and take up this test and come back to learn more about synonyms and antonyms in the next video. All the best to you guys.